to Nizzy Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy. And in this video, you guys, we're going to be going through our Week 5 NFL Power Rankings after the Week 5 just finished up in the NFL, you guys. What a week it was. Some really close games, some crazy kicker battles going on. Obviously, probably the craziest one was the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Green Bay Packers. We had like 4 or 5 missed field goals between the end of regulation and overtime there. Green Bay was able to pull out the victory. Had that crazy come from behind victory on Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens were able to upset the Colts. Lamar Jackson looks absolutely outstanding so far this season. I mean, I think he's putting all the haters to rest here with that we're hating on his throwing accuracy there. This guy's been just phenomenal so far. I believe he set an NFL record on Monday night for the highest completion percentage with over 400 yards passing in the game. So just outstanding from this guy. Lots of crazy games. Arizona stays undefeated. It's been an awesome start to the season so far, you guys. Just craziness and pandemonium going on so far through 5 weeks in the NFL. I can't wait for Week 6 to get started up here. Right real quick before we go ahead and break down the top 10 in the NFL Power Rankings, you guys, if you can go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Been getting a lot of support lately on the channel, you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start breaking down our top 10 NFL Power Rankings after Week 5 here. Starting in the number 10 slot, you guys. Little controversy maybe. We'll see. It was a tough one for me. There could have been a few teams here. I decided to go with the Cincinnati Bengals with a 3-2 record. Just what I've seen from them. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan. You guys have been doing a lot of Packers content here. So I got to watch really in-depth that game between Green Bay and Cincinnati. I got to say, I was really impressed with the way Cincinnati handled that game. They fought and scrapped and clawed their way to stay in it the entire time. It was a close battle right till the end. They probably should have won it, to be honest. I mean, the kickers were basically just handing the win back and forth between the two of them, between Mason Crosby and the kicker for the Bengals there. But you know, I think they surprised a lot of people being at a 3-2 record so far this season. Joe Burrow's looking like a legitimate number 1 option there at the quarterback. He's looking like just an absolute stud so far. Clearly that injury that he had last season hasn't affected him so far. He's been looking phenomenal. Obviously, Jamar Chase has stepped up big time since his dropped ball woes in the preseason there. Their defense is looking pretty stout as well. I was quite impressed with their defense when they played us on Sunday there. And I think Cincinnati's got a good opportunity here to be a wild card team in the playoffs. So that's why I got them at the number 10 slot through 5 weeks, you guys. Coming in at the number 9 slot, even though they ended up losing a real close one there on Sunday. I got the Cleveland Browns at a 3-2 record here. Just a crazy game against the Chargers, man. I remember I want to say it was last season that Baker had another one against, I think it was Baltimore, that was like a 50-45 game or something crazy like that. It's just unfortunate that they had to lose that one, especially if you thought Cleveland's defense was going to be a little bit more stout than that. You know, when you put up that many points, you would expect to win the game. I thought Baker played well. Their run game is the top run game in the league with that dual threat with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb there. So I don't see Cleveland being, you know, that worse off because of that loss. I think they'll get right back on track here this week with an upset victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Should be a good matchup on Sunday there. But I still think they're a top 10 squad, so I got them in the 9 spot, you guys. Heading over to the number 8 spot, we got the Los Angeles Rams at a 4-1 record. I think these guys still got a top 5 defense. Obviously, they're stout in that area on the field. Matt Stafford has looked real good so far through the 5 weeks with his new team there. Obviously, Sean McVay has been calling some nice plays for him. A little bit of a tough loss there a couple weeks back to Arizona, but they bounced back nicely on Thursday night against Seattle. I think they got a little bit lucky in that one. Obviously, Russell Wilson goes down with a finger injury. You know, so that helped them out later on in the game to get that easy win, even though Geno Smith was looking pretty solid at the backup slot there, coming in for Russell Wilson in that second half. But that's why I got the Rams down at 8 right now, just because they did lose that game to Arizona. Like, they weren't even really close in that one. Arizona basically blew them out. And then they, you know, it was closer than it should have been for the game against Seattle, obviously, with their backup QB in and everything. They're expected to win that as soon as Russell Wilson got injured in that game. So that's why I got them at the number 8 slot. Number 7, we got the Dallas Cowboys, you guys. They've been outstanding so far after that Week 1 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 4-1 record. Dak Prescott is looking real good right now. He's looking fully healthy from that ankle injury That's clearly behind them now. Just an overall good balanced offense from them. Their run game has been the best, one of the best in the league, right behind the Cleveland Browns. Zeke is looking refreshed this season, looking like he's in the possibly the best shape of his career, if not probably just as good a shape as his rookie season. And then obviously you got their backup Tony Pollard, who's doing phenomenal as well. I think they got both their guys in the top 10 for rushing yards right now, which is outstanding. And then you got a guy like Trevon Diggs in that defense. He got 6 picks through 5 games so far, leading the league in interceptions in his second season in the league. They had a big clutch win against the Chargers by 20-17 with that field goal to clutch it at the end there. Obviously, they dusted up the New York Giants last weekend there. So I like what I've seen from Dallas. I think they're going to be able to keep the ball rolling. They got a game, I believe, against the Patriots this weekend, so that should be a good matchup to watch. But I think Dallas is going to be able to keep it rolling here. And I have no doubt Dallas should be able to take that division and head into the playoffs this season. So I got them number 7 right now. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 6. Now, a lot of people got these guys higher on their list. I got them down there a little bit just because their injury woes at the cornerback position. I think that's an area of weakness right now within that squad. And then obviously you still got guys like Tom Brady being amazing, one of the better quarterbacks in the league still at his age of 45 years old, which is just incredible. Their defense is still a top 10 defense, even though they are dealing with some cornerback issues. Obviously, signing Richard Sherman helps out a lot. But at the end of the day, they're going to need to get a little bit healthier in that room, the cornerback room, if they're going to want to make a serious push into the playoffs this year. But obviously, there's still lots of time for that. But as for right now, that's why I have them in the number 6 slot, you guys. And then the Steady Eddie Green Bay Packers. My Green Bay Packers staying in number 5 for the 3rd week in a row, you guys. 4-1 record on the season. Crazy, crazy victory over the Bengals. Talked a little bit about it at the beginning of this video, but man, it was just an up and down game. I mean, the emotions as a fan was just insane. One minute you think you're winning the game, the next minute you think it's completely over, and then a streak of luck happens again. A guy misses another field goal and you got another chance. It's just wild. It's an absolute wild finish to the game. Maybe one of the craziest games I've ever watched as a fan of this team. But nonetheless, they're able to pull out the victory. The reason why I got them still sitting in the number 5 slot is they beat a really good team in San Francisco last second, was able to close that one out for the win. And then same thing with the Bengals, another close victory there. So I liked what I've seen from the Packers so far, especially with all of the injuries we've been dealing with. Obviously, we got in the game against the Bengals, we were missing 3 offensive linemen starters. And then we've been missing Elton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari, our 2 best offensive linemen for the majority of the season. Bakhtiari's been out the entire season so far on the PUP list. But Elton Jenkins has been missing a bunch of time as well. And then you got Zadarius Smith, our top pass rusher, who's been out the entire season. He ended up having back surgery. Jair went down last week, so he's been injured now with that shoulder. He might not be coming back this season. So we are injury plagued all across the board here. The Packers are, and the fact that we've been able to still hold par and still be able to come out victorious on Sundays has been super impressive in my opinion. That's why I got the Packers in the 5 slot. In the 4 slot, you guys, I got the Los Angeles Chargers. Loved what I've seen from this team so far under Brandon Staley through 5 weeks. He's just gotten playing high quality football and fearless football as well. You know what I mean? The amount of 4th downs this guy goes for it. You go back to that Kansas City game specifically. I mean, the amount of 4th down plays he went on, I think there's a couple 4th and 7s, 4th and 2s, and he's just going for it. No fear in this guy, and his team plays exactly that style of game, fearless style of game. He's done wonders to that defense. The defense wasn't the best last year. Obviously, they're dealing with some injury woes as well, but I think their defense has been much improved. Obviously, it's kind of an anomaly game that happened against Cleveland. That was a high-scoring affair. But other than that, the Chargers' defense has been solid this year. Herbert's the real deal. Outstanding quarterback play from him so far in his 2nd season. And then obviously, they got great wide receivers, great running backs, a good offensive line. Getting Corey Linsley was a huge addition for them at the center position in the offseason. So I like what I've seen from the Chargers. I think they're going to be able to keep it rolling here for the next couple of weeks. That's why I got them in the number 4 slot, you guys. In the number 3 slot, I had to put Baltimore in there. Couldn't leave them out of the top 3 this time. I mean, Lamar Jackson's been looking like an MVP caliber quarterback so far this season. I say the thing that he's improved the most on is his passing ability. Everyone was dogging him on his passing ability after last year. And man, has he improved on it so much. He's so much more accurate down the field. I mean, look at the percentage that he's completing in that game on Monday night there. Like I said, is the highest percentage of completion by a quarterback who threw for over 400 yards. So just incredible what he's been able to do, especially with all the injuries that they've been faced with. Both of their starting running backs are out. Marcus Peters, one of their starting cornerbacks, is down with injury. They got a couple other guys down with injury as well. So they've just been outstanding, fighting through this injury plague that they've been dealing with so far this season. And obviously Lamar's just been leading the way in every facet, run game, pass game, doesn't matter. The guy's been able to get it done for them. So that's why I got the Ravens in the number 3 slot. Number 2, we got the Buffalo Bills. These guys have been absolutely dominant since that week 1 loss to the Steelers, man. 4-1 record so far. Josh Allen looks amazing. He's a do-it-all quarterback. There's just so many good quarterbacks in the league right now, man. It's just a treat to be able to watch all these guys play. You just never know what might happen on Sundays nowadays with so much talent out there in the league at the quarterback position. Josh Allen is one of those guys for sure. Huge win against the Chiefs this season. That defense has been outstanding. They've already got a couple shutouts on the year. The guys have just been playing outstanding, especially that win against the Chiefs. What was it, 37-20 or 38-20? Just dusted them up. It wasn't even close. Was able to turn Patrick Mahomes over a couple times as well. 3 times, actually, I believe. I think he had 2 interceptions and a fumble at the end of the game. So just a great overall performance on both sides of the ball from the Buffalo Bills the last 4 weeks. And no surprise, they're in that number 2 slot right now in the power rankings. And then obviously, guys, there's only one undefeated team left. Got a quarterback that's playing like an MVP right now, so you got to have him in the number 1 slot. That's the Arizona Cardinals. Big win over the 49ers by a score of 17-10 over the weekend to stay undefeated. Like I said, Kyler Murray's looking outstanding right now. I think they got a very, very high-quality wide receiver room. A.J. Green was a huge pickup for him in the offseason. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins is still the best wide receiver on that team. Christian Kirk's a nice slot threat for him. Their running backs have been a lot better. James Conner looks like a great signing at this point. J.J. Watt's been a nice addition to that defense. Chandler Jones being back fully healthy has been a huge addition as well. Having him this season, then you got guys like Isaiah Simmons and Budda Baker on the back end who've just been outstanding talents so far. Just making the plays that need to be made for that team. So loved what I've seen from these guys. Should be a really good game this weekend coming up between the Cards and the Browns. We'll have to see who's going to be the victor in that one. Probably going to have a video coming out where I do the game picks here, probably today or tomorrow. So you guys will be able to get my picks for that game as well as all the other games heading into Week 6 here. But that wraps up the NFL Power Rankings for Week 5. You guys will just run through 10 through 1 real quick again. Obviously 10 being Cincinnati, number 9 being the Browns, number 8 with the Rams. Number 7, we took the Dallas Cowboys. Number 6, we went with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 5 are Green Bay Packers. Number 4, we went with the LA Chargers. Number 3 was the Ravens. 2, the Buffalo Bills. And then obviously number 1, the Arizona Cardinals, you guys. I would love to get your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. Who do you guys got in your top 10 in the NFL Power Rankings after Week 5? I would love to have a good discussion on that with you guys. Once again, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and every video on my channel. It means a lot to me, man. I've been getting a lot of support lately. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. If you could go ahead, please like this video. If you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future, appreciate you watching. And this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat.